Yep.
For that exercise, I guess you can look at it a couple different ways, but for right now, I guess we would just say call it G7, G major 7. Okay? And we're going to add a 9 on top of it. And a whole bunch of other crap. It's a cool little roll you get there. I roll this and then pull off. I mean, I used to practice it both ways. When I would fret each note like a whole bunch of ways, but like I pretty much stay with the fact that right now because I'm late, I bar and roll over that second string here. Whether I'm sweeping it or not. Continue it up. Yeah, I used to do it with all fingers, but I haven't done it in ages, so don't count on me to be able to do it right now. But that's basically the idea. So when I would do that extra thing what I was showing you, just that it's mostly at the end of a line on the top of an arpeggio, where it sounds like really, cool. Like it's like that. My teacher used to walk past me in the lunchroom, and he used to say, "You see this called blah, blah, blah." He used to do that all the time. So that's why I call it the blah, blah. Alright, again, you can do it with the minor chords also. A little lower, I guess. And then that's where the crossover thing will come in. So if I extend the tapping. Okay, I'm trying to make it so you can actually see it. So. You just slide it in there. It's a little tricky little thing. Okay. You also do it trying to tap it in with this, like this. Which you have to be really quick to get that in there. You have to tap it and slide it in, and then the other two notes. It's really not something you should do. Without warming up, you hurt yourself. So anytime you can also do, you have to do the 4-finger thing. Like I did this because I just wanted to be a dick and be like, oh, I can put 4 fingers. And it wound up being cool, so I started expanding, so I could do everything with 4 fingers. So, so you do the entire thing like that if you want to do all 4 fingers. It is possible, but how many times do you need to play that many notes? But that's how you would tap it. So. You actually get 2 notes underneath sometimes, depending on how fast the left hand is. Okay, get underneath if you can. This one will cross it up. Right, so. We're here trying to cross it under each one alternating, so you go from the high notes to the low note. Okay, so you want to basically try to get underneath. Switch. Okay.
How's it go, like a sleight of hand?
It's
yes.
It's like a magic trick.
A trick. Sleight of life, sleight of hand.
I used to try to do it with all 4 fingers, like crossing over. It came from this chromatic exercise, where I actually was doing chromatic exercises like 1,000 years ago. I was trying to do. And then I was, from that, I was going into like tapping until I broke my hand, which is, don't punch things. So, so anyway, that's why I came up with the whole sliding underneath with the 4 finger thing, because of that chromatic exercise. But it's so useless unless you're like showing off the guitar geeks. No one cares. It's a totally useless line. So don't bother with it. What really is good though is anytime you can extend the right hand. So say you don't have the 4 finger stuff down, you can't get it down. Use the right hand to substitute for the 4 finger. Okay. Okay. Same circle. Anytime like you want to like hit the octave you still want to reach, right? Or if you do the slide, but you can't extend yourself because you already made the slide. Sliding a double, it's you can do it. It's cool. It has a different sound of its own, but sometimes it has to go with the tap, rather. So. It's always good as an extension above something that you don't feel comfortable extending again. Because not that doing the slide to a slide is bad. It's cool and it's a cool effect, but it's not always what you want. Because normally if I go from to a slide in general, I want to like really emphasize the note, I really want to drag it out. So if I did 2 slides in a row, I really want to drag that note out. You'd be like, it makes you want to like hold it, You just did something like, you gotta like emphasize it. Make sense?
Yep.
So that's basically it for the tapping. Now I was showing you about playing over simple riffs. Say we're doing like a 1/5 cycle, right back and forth. And you're just doing E and B. Try to find different shapes where like first you start off with, the ones you are obvious, but are usually harder to skip around. Like for instance, doing type 1 arpeggio. Right? Okay. Next you obviously change position. And try to make it all fit in one spot. So now you have your E and the inversion is the same chord here, right? Then you can do the same thing backwards where you're gonna start dragging it back where you have, right? Into the inversion for the other chord. Right? See what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you're stacking the inversions and you're moving one crooked, same way as doing the tapping, so one hand moves and the other doesn't. You can do the same thing with your inversions. Start to get it so that you can see the cycles, how they move around each other. Like how different arpeggio patterns will move around, like 1 to 5. Different ways of doing 1 to 5. So you have, right? Substitute with diminished, right? But at the same time, I can stay around that, instead of doing that diminished, I can just stay there and do the 1/5 I showed you, right? Or if you're doing a harmonic minor, you're doing major, whatever. Right? And the 1/5 because you can obviously do it over and over again forever and ever and ever until you decide to stop. Yeah, over and over again. It's not going to end until you make it end. You know what I mean? So that's what you really should get your handle on, is seeing that pattern from here to here. So like, shapes like this, right? Knowing that this is really close, right? So those 2 inversions go pretty well. This one, going to this goes really well, right? Very easy to, to get around. Go from here to here. Very easy to get around. very easy to get, you know, to facilitate. You don't have to do a lot of shifting, you know, because every time you do a shift, you have to reset. Now, I'm saying that shifting is bad or wrong. Sometimes, you know, the sound you want or the position you have to get to. But obviously, if you want to get faster, you have to make less movements. And a shift is a reset of the entire keyboard, you know? So when you shift, it's obviously it's a second you're losing, you know? If you're really fast, it's half a second, we'll say, you know, of you know, burning. So that's why, like, I always emphasize the shift training. Like, you know, when you're doing your scales and stuff, I don't teach you one frame. I teach you the entire thing. You have to concentrate on the shifting. You know, because that turning and shifting sequences in your scale playing is what really breaks you down. So, I would say start off, this is probably the easiest one because you work around the blues positions first. Let's work around this.
You gotta stop.